Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. I'm not wearing any foundation. I'm just putting on a little bit of concealer and mainly focusing on my eyes today. If you want to learn all about that, what I actually did do to my face and how I did this eye look with just gray and black eyeshadows from Sydney Grace, then just keep watching. You guys, look at my new mug. You're my person. It's from my person. My BFF from high school. She got it for me. And look, I hope I don't break this one. She gets me mugs all the time and I break them. She went to such detail on this. Look at her hair. We both started growing our gray out together, but hers had several accidents. So her hair is like partially gray, partially brown. And that's how it is. See, look. See? And then my hair, can you see? It's just right underneath here. See my little hair sticking out? And it's gray. And like she has a beer and I have my lemonade. And we always wanted to go to Hawaii together, so we're on the beach there. And I really don't want to break this one. So I'm going to try to be very, very careful with that mug. We are going to work in this very monochrome gray black palette. We're going to start with this matte gray here. It's called Success, and I hope we have success with it. I'm just going to take my E25 and pat down into that, and I'm just going to take it here on the transition high and put some of that in there. So what I've been doing is answering comments, and that would be the comments on the Sydney Grace video where I was singing the 70s jingles and talking about the horse back ride and the doctor who threw that paddle and hit me. So I'm answering those comments, loving and listening to your guys' stories, and I'm editing the next video in the lineup and filming this one. I am just all over the place, aren't I? Anyway, so yeah, I thought let's just take a break from looking at those screens because my eyes are blurry now. I just remember one of the comments I just answered was from Vivian, and she was talking about when she was an x-ray tech. This is another matte. It's called Boss Babe, and it's darker than the first one. This one here is Success, and this is Boss Babe, and I'm like put this in the transition and then I'm putting this one in the crease. Vivian was telling her story to me, and that reminded me because she was saying she was x-raying the finger of someone who had cut the tip off, and that reminded me of, you know, I told you when I used to work days and with the students have to comp on examinations, you know. I mean, you don't just tell students how to do things and then let them go. You actually have to comp them on it. And one of the exams was a hand x-ray, and there are actually 3 views to a hand x-ray. Basically it's with the hand laying flat, then oblique. It's like that position. It's like this. Okay. Anyway, so I've got this student, a poor kid. First of all, he didn't want to be with me. No student in their right mind wanted to be with me because I was really tough, because I remember my own training. I mean, there was no pussyfooting around here. They didn't let you slide. They put you in the most difficult, this is a clean E35, I'm just blending these two together. They put you in the most difficult position, and they sat back and laughed at you. No, seriously, they wanted to make sure that you were good, okay? And that you could handle yourself in any situation. And so they didn't, you know, they didn't hold that stuff back. And that very much was the kind of tech that I was. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the E55 and come into polished silver. And we're going to take that over the lid. Anyway, I made it pretty well known to the students when they came through. Every student who ever worked with me, I told them, you will hate me. I promise you that you will. I'm going to make you do things manually. I'm not going to let you do them automatic. I'm going to put you through it and back again. But when you graduate, you'll come and thank me because you will be the better tech. You will get the good job because you'll know how to handle yourself in confidence anywhere you go. And you'll know how to do it manually. Ooh, I like that a whole bunch, but you know what I gotta do? Yes, you do. I'm gonna take my finger into polished silver now. Now that I've got that laid down as a base, just right there in the middle. Bump it, baby, bump it. Oh yeah, I like that. Pressed white pigment, and it's called Velvet. Look at that. Look at the sheen on that. Taking my E46 with Velvet on it, and we're gonna come in the inner corner. This poor kid, he used to be an EMT, okay? Now he's wanting to be an x-ray tech. And he's on my rotation for the week. He's a very timid guy. Anyway, the kid needs to comp on a hand x-ray. What this poor kid wants to do is wait until next week to comp on the hand when he's not dealing with your girl. Okay? I'm not even going to tell you what they used to call me. Okay? It might have been the character from the movie where the character says, "I'll be back." If you want to see what those students are made of, then just send them with me, because I'll either make or break them. Well, you know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to circle this right on the outside. Look at me deepening that up with no problem whatsoever. Oh, boy. And then I'm just kind of coloring right there in the crease, a little darkening that up. I'm just barely touching this right here. Don't you love the way I started, Adam? I mean, sometime in this 45-minute video, you might get to hear the 2-second clip that it's just a little story, but I gotta drag it way out. A hand x-ray comes off of the printer, and he goes over to get it, but he doesn't want to do it. And I don't blame him, to tell you the truth. This is like a nightmare, hand x-ray. But I don't realize it at the time, and I tell him, "Oh, you're doing it. If it's the last thing you do today, you're going to comp on this hand. And if you can do this hand with me standing there watching you, you can do a hand x-ray." This side is sagging more, so I'm just coming a little bit higher to try and offset that. I want to do my concealer before we do Storm Cloud. This is a pressed pigment, see, and we're going to put that underneath the eye. But we're going to do a real minimal makeup face today because I just had a microdermabrasion session with myself. But it was just last night, so I don't want to like be gomming a whole bunch of stuff on, right? Bare minimum here, bare minimum. In fact, I'm just going to go in really light with this e.l.f. height. I think this is the hydrating one, I hope. Let's make sure. I don't want to use the other one. Yeah, this is the hydrating one. So it has the white cap. I need to remember that. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my face in various places. Let's just put some right there. Anyway, we send for the patient from the ER and bring them over. And I got to tell you, I think that's one of the top times that I ever felt sorry for a student being my student, right, was this examination. So transportation gets the patient and they bring them over. And the poor man, he had cut off every finger from his hand. That man, he was in shock. You can tell when you're talking to a patient that's in shock. And so that guy's in shock. Somebody in his family had the presence of mind to get the digits and bring them. So this is the hand that my little student boy, I have told him, you are doing this exam, okay? No matter what happens, you're doing the exam and you're going to comp on it. And then this is what it is. And I felt so sorry for him. But since I already said that, we got to follow through. But before we discovered that, he like goes over there and the guy's just like, "How you guys doing today?" I don't know, you know, and so he pulls the sheet back and discovers that this guy's fingers are in this little cup thing sitting right next to him. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh. I don't want to back down. I already told him he had to do it. So I just told him, well, there'll be no doubt in your mind after today that you can do a hand x-ray. Go on. He starts freaking out on me. And I said, I thought you were an EMT. I mean, because seriously. Well, I guess his thing was that, you know, yes, he was an EMT, but he was kind of prepared for everything that he saw as an EMT, whereas that just kind of take the sheet off and surprise! He wasn't expecting that. I'm like, okay, well, get used to it, because that's what happens around here. Surprise! No fingers. I'm just going to use a little bit of my long comb, no shine, and I do mean a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm just going to take this little eye brush. That's a big eye brush, right? It does a good job of just blending out one shade. I'm just going to bring it down inside of here, and that's all I'm using. I just bang that off a little bit. It's from Chikahodo, and I'm just hitting a couple of spots with this. I'm like, just think about this logically, okay? You need to get the exact same view that you would if his fingers was on his hand. So how are you going to do that? He's like, I don't know. How am I going to do that? Tape queen to the rescue. Go, well, you have to like put his hand in this position and now take each digit and put it like that, okay? And you're going to have to tape the digits in place for the others, but the surgeon needs to see this so that he can reattach them. Now we're going to take this Sydney Grace blush called Stiletto, and we're going to use that on my cheeks. I'm just going to kind of swirl a little bit right here. Round and round in a circle. Anyway, I was never so proud of a student. He did figure it out, but he was freaked out. I will tell you this though, more than half of the students that I taught from classes did always come back and thank me at the end of the year, but they sure did hate me during the year, or during their 2 years anyway. This is a new highlighter I just got from them called Allegro. Funny story, when I was swatching it, I thought, oh, they got it wrong. This is more like a highlighter than a blush. It is a highlighter. Since we're doing so much Sydney Grace, let's just go ahead and use this lip cream by Sydney Grace. It's called Kaylee. Yeah, I like it. I love the doe foot on these too. I'm going to take my E36 and just really wipe it off. It looks real dirty and scary with that tuxedo color on there, but it's wiped off. And I'm going to take it right in here to Storm Cloud, and I did want to bang a little bit of that off. And I'm going to come here. Now, let me give you a tip. When you're using this brush to create a smoky look with your eye there, you can do that pretty easily. You can leave it like this if you want. I always close my eye. That way I don't get the bristles in my eye, okay? But just take and close the eye and drag underneath here. See, like that. You can also come up here and just pinch these bristles together and do this. But this is going to give more of a smoky look than using the E46 underneath here. And it just picks up a little bit, so I feel like it doesn't overdo the color underneath your eye. There, I like that. Got a little bit more than the other side. That's really smoky. And now I'm going to wipe off my E35 and come into that white shade Velvet and bring it right underneath the brow bone. That gives some shine up here for sure. I'm going to do my eyeliner, my mascara, my brows, and I'll be back. Okay? All right. I know that I don't have the best makeup look going on here today, but like I said, I didn't want to do a lot to my face because I just finished a microdermabrasion and some other stuff. The eyes look good. That's what counts, right? And that's what you're here to see, is me do my eyes. As always, I want to remind you that you guys are the best part of the Fritzy family. And if you're not having a blessed day, just go out and be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya, bye. And I'm out.
Oh! Hang on, I'm going in. If I'm constantly changing lenses, Lenses. If I'm constantly changing lenses. So she's got our names below us. And then, like, look at her hair. Her hair has got, yeah, Mary. Use this finger. What is on my finger? I think that was actually eyeshadow. And then I'm going to pat into it on the other side of this brush. I'm sorry. When I was younger and like older people would like walk across the room farting, and I would think, do they not know they're doing that? Yeah, they do. They just can't keep it from coming out. So, might as well just give up. There wasn't this pussyfooting around here. Pressed pigment called metallic silver, I think. Is that what that's called? You just read it. You can't remember? No, it's not called metallic silver. It's called polished silver. Is it? You just looked at it. Oh my gosh, how can I forget things that quick? Yes, polished silver. You remember it because I'm gonna forget it again. Okay, this is just a test. What was it again? Don't know, do you? I didn't hear you. Remember that dance? The bump? It's 2020, and I'm still doing the bump. We go to weddings and stuff and be doing the bump. And the people there will be like, what? I meant to grab my mirror. Oh, some big bitch. That's what I say instead of, well, you know why. I also say, that just butters my biscuit. Yeah, but it was just last night, so I don't want to talk about what happened last night. About last night. Matter of fact, I'm just going to take this little goat hair brush from Chihuahua. Chihuahua. Look at my brush from Chihuahua. No, Chicahodo. I've got a Charlie horse in my foot. Yes, I am 58. My skin is looking and feeling kind of... What is it feeling? What is your skin feeling? Kind of sorry for itself. We're so sorry you're going to do that to us.